I'd rather show you what I got. Where I walk, where I talk. See me flying down my route, pass me the ball. I ain't dropping none, I don't fumble at all. Winner, chicken dinner every time we ball. Throwing it like a burner, I dunk it like LeBron. Hey. Monday Night Fredo, Infinity TV.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Fredo here live from Los Angeles at the Infinity Studios. And it is 4th of July Eve because tomorrow is going to be a great celebration for everyone. And just please, everyone, stay safe out there. Don't go off and blow off your fingers because every single year I see it on KTLA, Fox 11, some sort of news that someone busted their finger open, someone's fingers flying down the street, and I don't want to see none of those videos. But one of the things I do want to see is, something that just happened earlier today over in Sacramento. Of course, the NBA Summer League is underway right now, and there's been one person that just stood out all day long tonight, and it is the first ever Mexican-American basketball player to be drafted in the NBA in the first round, and that is former UCLA Jaime Jaquez Jr. Yes, Jaime Jaquez got drafted 18th overall to the Miami Heat, which Jaime was taken second, the next pick after the Lakers took Jalen Hood, but I'm not here to talk about that because I wish the Lakers would have picked their very own from their backyard in Jaime Jaquez. But Jaime Jaquez put up a show against the Lakers earlier today in Sacramento, and Jaime Jaquez was just running up and down the court, dunking on everyone, which that's not the player I saw in UCLA for 4 years. Well, technically 5 because he got that extra COVID year, but I did not see Jaime Jaquez do those type of moves. At times he did. But he wasn't as explosive as he looked earlier this afternoon in Sacramento. But we all know Pat Riley. Of course, all the longtime Laker fans know Pat Riley very well. And they know that Pat knows a winner when he sees one. And he saw one in Jaime Jaquez, especially looking at what Jaime Jaquez was able to do for the UCLA Bruins over the last 5 years, taking them taking them 3 times to the Elite Eight and, Final Four once and multiple appearances in the tournament. But he has always been the most consistent player. And you can even ask head coach from the UCLA basketball team and Mike Cronin. Mike always talked about how great of a player, how great of a leader Jaime was. And I personally did not think that Jaime was going to be taken in the first round in this year's NBA draft. But it came to a few days prior to the NBA draft where a few reports out there were saying that the NBA has given Jaime an invitation to the green room. So when he was given that invitation to the green room, that let alone told you all right, this kid is going up in the draft. And Miami had it all picked up. They, Pat Riley came out and talked about it too. He's like, we've had our eye on Jaime Jaquez since the tournament. We've seen the type of player he is. We see what he brings to the table. And that's the type of Heat culture that, he is. They just saw everything that the Heat are all about. They saw it in Jaime Jaquez. And clearly, Jimmy Butler is that type of player as well. It's like Jimmy's not given, all the attention that he deserves, but he's just out there battling every single game, and that's exactly what Jaime Jaquez Jr. is going to do for the Miami Heat and for the NBA. So congratulations to Jaime and giving it up to the Lakers earlier today because Jalen Hood, he actually looked pretty good as well. So this gives that man some credit. He's got a big size. He's a 6'5" guard. He is someone that can defend. He can rebound the ball, take it to the next side of the court, and he can go ahead and perform out there. So you got to give that man some credit too. But I'm going to be comparing both of these guys for the rest of their lives because Jalen Hood got taken first before Jaime, and I hope Jaime Jaquez, I know he's going to become a star. I know he's going to be a good player in the league, but I hope he doesn't be like, man, we should have taken him. It's like Now I think about it, it's like, man, the Lakers took Lonzo Ball second when Jason Tatum was third available next. And it's like, man, why didn't they take Jason Tatum? But little things like that happen. This is what the NBA draft is all about in every draft throughout sports. It's like, you never know how this kid is going to pan out. What about this one right here? Oh, this kid had a great performance, but you never know how things are going to turn out in the NBA. But that is something that just happened earlier today because Summer League is around the corner here. So it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to see more of these players coming up. But let's talk a little bit. Let's take a step back. Let's rewind to see what happened on Friday afternoon, because Friday afternoon was the beginning to the NBA free agency. And guess who stood in Los Angeles? Let's go ahead and break it down for you, because yes, I am not a Lakers fan. It's confusing for some people out there. It's even confusing for me now. But when I look at what the Lakers did this summer, you can clearly see that they are investing in this year, knowing that there's going to be not that much competition out there. The only team that will get in LA's way if they end up performing to their expectations is the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns put a roster together that at any given time, you give the ball to KD, KD's going to get you a bucket. You give the ball to Devin Booker, you know he's going to get you a bucket. And you now have the opportunity and a player like Bradley Beal who can now take a shot for you and put up 20 to 25 points in a given night. They are fully loaded. And then, those three guys I just mentioned, they're deadly three-point shooters. So, with that being said, you know that the defense is going to be alert and aware that, okay, let's not leave these guys open. But guess who they also decided to add to their backcourt? Eric Gordon, one of the best three-point shooters this league has ever seen. Been in the league for about 13 years now, and he is now a member of the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix is going to be trouble. And, of course, Frank Vogel, former Laker coach, does have his hands full with this team. Frank Vogel coming into the year, freshly right now with the Suns after being off for a full year. He was off for a full season after, he was fired by the Lakers. And, the Lakers hired Darvin Ham. But, who cares about Darvin Ham? But one thing that Frank does know what to do is coach defense, and that's something that Phoenix was not able to do against the Denver Nuggets, because that series, that second round of the playoffs, we knew, okay, Phoenix is going to give it to the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are not going to win this, and the Nuggets made everyone look silly. Because when Denver was able to they were able to take the ball. Every time Booker touched the ball, double team. Every time Durant touched the ball, double team. Who else you got? At the time, they didn't really have no one. They had some decent players, but not players that can really, help you out in that sense of being a superstar of the team. But what Kevin Durant now got and what Devin Booker now got, they got Bradley Beal, and they got another shooter in Eric Gordon, who Eric Gordon's still going to give you about 25, 30 minutes a game, especially where he could just, hey, Gordon, stay in that corner and shoot them threes, because that's the type of player he is. And that's exactly what the LA Clippers were able to do this past offseason as well, because they were able to get Eric Gordon to their squad that kind of helped them out in the first round of the playoffs against the Phoenix Suns. So Eric Gordon is still a very good player. And let's not forget about their centerpiece in DeAndre Ayton, who is still a member of the Phoenix Suns, which that's like a big mess right now, because it's like DeAndre Ayton doesn't want to be there. The organization doesn't want him there no more, because they've been trying to trade him for the past 2 seasons. And, it feels like it's going to be a little rocky. It's going to be a little rocky up in Phoenix. So I don't know if DeAndre Ayton's going to be there for the remaining part of the year. But just imagine if they're like, no, DeAndre might not be here. Let's trade him. If they trade DeAndre Ayton, just imagine the quality of maybe bench players are going to get. The quality of bench players they might get. They might get 1 or 2 pieces. If I was them, maybe I'll be like, hey, you know what? Give me Buddy Hield and give me what's the other dude's name? I was about to say Roy Hibbert, but not Roy. What is his name? Miles Turner. Give me Miles Turner, and take DeAndre Ayton, and Indiana might be like, yeah, go ahead, take him. Just imagine, Cole. So James Jones, GM of the Phoenix Suns. You're a young GM that really got this team put together, and even you got a young owner, a rich owner who likes to be in trouble out there on the sidelines, because we all remember what he did last playoff series. But I know Phoenix is going to be definitely good. That's the only team that's going to get in the way of the Lakers. But now with the Lakers having Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, D'Angelo Russell all back together, and Jared Vanderbilt as well, that is going to be the chemistry that has been building over, since February over the last 4-6 months. And now being able to translate all this into training camp, and now getting a full training camp with this roster, getting D'Angelo to really be that piece that can really take this Laker team. Because we all clearly saw that when D'Angelo Russell can really get his game going, his shot is going, it opens up the floor, not just for LeBron, not just for AD, but for everybody else. So it's like, D'Angelo, get in the gym. That IQ got to get a lot better than it is. Like right now, I give you a B+ in IQ. I need you to have an A- or A+, or even an A. But I need that IQ a little higher, because there is moments in situations that you can use the pick and roll to your advantage. Like, that's your tool. That's what Chris Paul does. That's his tool. Chris Paul is a magician on the pick and roll. And what does he do every single time he got the ball? Hey, big, you, come here, up here, pick, boom. He does his magic. And that's what certain players know, and the IQ is all there. And just like LeBron James, he knows how to get his players involved in the right places. But I'm just scared of one thing with the Lakers. I'm scared that Rui Hachimura might not play up to his contract, because even though Rui, I just realized he's a local kid. Grew up right here in Glendale, California. He worked out a lot in Glendale, the gym out here in the facilities. But I feel like Rui, if given the right time, and I feel that if Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell and maybe Cam Reddish, because Kevin Reddish was another guard/forward that came along to this team, who can really take some minutes away from Rui, because Rui at times he can have it going, but can he be consistent? I have not been able to see him be consistent all year long. I got a chance to see him for 3-4 months, and they were pretty good 4 months, pretty damn good. But can he keep this up for the team? I mean, the pressure is now on, because if he has a bad game, we're going to be like, whoa, hey, Rui, you got $15 million in the bank. What's up? Like, we're going to be putting that type of pressure on him every single day. And Austin Reeves is not going to receive that type of pressure, because Austin is getting a lot less money than Rui. So if I put two players line, like, okay, here's Austin and here's Rui, who are you going to pay more? You're going to be like, well, Austin deserves the bank. He deserves the bag. And Austin is only getting 4 years, $56 million. Rui is getting 3 years, $51 million. I really hope it pans out. I really hope, because I'm wishing the Lakers all the luck in the world, and I hope they can really do something. But one guy I'm going to let you guys know before we go to commercial break right now. Even though Gabe Vincent is going to be a very decent role player, I feel like he's going to be playing about 20 to 30 minutes a game. He's a pretty good three-point shooter as well. He's going to be able to open up the floor for LeBron. But Jackson Hayes, I'm a fan of Jackson Hayes. He is someone who ruins the offense for the other team. Like when an offensive team does not see that type of defensive type player that Jackson Hayes is, and he can be, because he's proven that in the last 3 seasons for the New Orleans Pelicans. He's proven that he can run the floor, he can block shots, and it's clearly a good sized player that can play alongside Anthony Davis and possibly give him a break. Give him a break, because at times you might see Jackson Hayes and Rui at the 4 and 5 and give AD some time off. Or, AD always takes time off. When is he going to get hurt? Like, I think we should do a pool of like, hey, is AD going to get hurt prior to November 20th? Is he going to get hurt prior to November 20th? Who knows? It seems like he's always in some sort of trouble, but the Lakers are building something nice, and Rob Pelinka deserves all the credit in the world. Like right now, if anyone knows where Rob Pelinka lives, go get him some edible arrangements or something. Go drop it off in his front porch and be like, hey, Rob, thank you for what you did, because this summer could have been ugly for the Lakers if this move was not done by Rob Pelinka. It could have been ugly. Really ugly. I mean, I'm surprised that everything kind of came together. Like money seems to not be a problem. Everyone, even D'Angelo Russell, deserves. I respect D'Angelo more. I respect him more because he took a pay cut. He was earning a max contract prior to this contract. He was earning a max contract. Now he got 2 years, $37 million. He's gonna be making about $16 million a year now. Pretty good for his type of player. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break. When we return here on Monday Night Fredo, I will talk a little bit more about basketball because there's a couple more, players that took some more money, but also the LA Sparks got a lot of things to say about the LA Sparks. That's where I'm going to leave it at. We'll be back here on Monday Night Fredo.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
And we're back here on Monday Night Fredo, live from the Infinity Studios in Los Angeles. And make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check out the website, infinitytv.com as well. We bring you a lot of great content. A lot of great content. And, of course, I'm going to touch a little bit more on the NBA because there's just a lot to talk about right now. But I am going to get down and dirty with the LA Sparks right after I'm done talking NBA, so stay tuned. You don't want to miss this. But one thing I don't want to miss is the opportunity to see LaMelo Ball take $260 million over 5 years for the Charlotte Hornets, and that contract was signed and extended to the young kid from Chino Hills, California. And when we talk about LaMelo Ball, we are talking about a young point guard who is 6'8". I mean, that's the same size as, like, Magic was, 6'9"? And, LaMelo is one of the best playmakers out there. He's a one-time All-Star now in his first 3 seasons. He's a Rookie of the Year, and he knows how to get his team involved. He has played alongside Terry Rozier for the past few years. He's played alongside Miles Bridges, where a lot of people really didn't know who Miles Bridges was, and now people know who he is. He is a max contract type of player. And you also got a chance to see a young guy in Caleb Martin. Yeah, everyone knows Caleb Martin out there. And I heard one of the dumbest things out there that maybe Miami could have put out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but there is a lot of speculation about what's going to happen with Damian Dalla Lillard. And the speculation is, well, Damian wants to go to Miami. That's where he wants to go, and there's nowhere else where he wants to play. That's according to Shams Charania from The Athletic. That report came out earlier this afternoon on Monday, and Miami has clearly said, hey, we are not going to involve Caleb Martin in any deal. What? Pat Riley, I was just talking about you a few minutes ago about how you know talent and how you know what to do with talent when you have them in your hand. And you have Caleb Martin, who overperformed in the series in the playoffs. How many series have you, Pat Riley, seen in your last 40 years in the NBA? You've seen a lot of basketball. I'm sure you remember whether when you were coaching with the Knicks, whether you were coaching with Miami, or you were coaching with the Lakers. There's always that one guy in a series who is always going to light it up. He's going to give it to you. You're going to be like, damn, this guy just gave it to us. But who the hell was this guy all season long or the first 5 seasons? And that's the type of player that Caleb Martin was, because I saw a lot of Caleb in Charlotte. There's a reason why he was a free agent. He was released. There's a reason to things. And, believe it or not, for some reason, he was not missing against the Celtics. But when it got to the NBA Finals, when it was the big stage, the lights are bright, what did he do? He crumbled. He was not the same player. So, Miami, please don't be out there and saying, hey, Caleb Martin is out of any discussion. He is not going to be involved in anything. I mean, if I was Portland, I'll be like, I want Caleb Martin. Give me Caleb right now. Like, that's if I was Portland. But, when we're talking about Damian Lillard, and right now that he's in the conversation of possibly moving teams, and there is only one team that I did get a chance to see a reporter who covers for the NBC Sports up in Boston. There was an article trending yesterday that, there is a reason why Jaylen Brown has not signed his extension, or maybe not been offered an extension from the Boston Celtics, because a lot of people expected Jaylen Brown to be signed first thing Friday afternoon when free agency began, and that contract has not yet been given to Jaylen Brown. And speculation has it that Boston is trying to prepare to offer Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and other players to Portland for Damian Lillard. I am up for that. I love Jaylen Brown. I know he is a great player, and I wish we can swap Jaylen Brown for Anthony Davis here in LA. But if you get the opportunity to get Damian Lillard and put him up with Jason Tatum, where at times Tatum's a good leader, Tatum's a good player, he knows how to do things on both sides of the ball, but there was times that Jason needs that help, and he's like, all right, Jaylen, you take it away. Jaylen's a good player. He is maturing to being a great player. He's still got a little bit of learning to do, but the type of player that Damian is, I feel that you put Damian next to Jason Tatum right now, they will be the NBA favorites to win it all next season, even over the Phoenix Suns. So you add a Kristaps Porzingis to that team as well. Now you're expanding the floor. Now you can be like, all right, Tatum, I'm going to give the ball to Porzingis. Give it to Porzingis down low. He's going to be able to do some magic. All right, Tatum, now you do this. And if Damian Lillard is down there as well, that is great news for the Boston Celtics if they are able to steal that player. Because right now, after Damian, I'm pretty sure he heard that rumor that Boston is preparing a massive deal for him. Guess what his reporter Chris Haynes from TNT and the Bleacher Report came out and said on Monday afternoon? Damian only wants to play for Miami. Those are the words that clearly came from Damian's camp. He only wants to play for Miami. I mean, that's a tough decision. That's going to be a decision that Boston is going to have to think. It's like, okay, do we want to trade for a guy that doesn't really want to be here? Can we change his mind? Or is he going to be hard-headed? Who knows? All we know is that Damian is on the trade block right now. And if I was Rob Pelinka, if you really, 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 really want to win the NBA free agency, hey, offer AD for Damian Lillard. Why not? Why not? Damian can give the Lakers more of a push, and especially more of a push for LeBron James, because there's times that LeBron's trying to take a seat in the back of the car, because LeBron's about to be 39 years old in December. In about 6 months, LeBron's going to be 39 years old. He cannot be putting all those miles, and but yeah, they got a good roster around them. They got Austin Reeves that can do certain things, but I mean, there is a reason why Austin Reeves is eligible to be traded. He is eligible to be traded as soon as he signed his contract after July the 6th, which is going to be on Thursday. After Thursday, every single player is going to be eligible to be traded. So there might be more trade speculation, especially around James Harden. James Harden also signed his player option with the Philadelphia 76ers, and the moment he signed that extension and he signed it, he was like, you know what? Let's have a discussion. I want out. And Philadelphia is also having discussions right now with multiple teams, including the Celtics, including Washington, and including the Los Angeles Clippers. Should the Lakers get involved? I've never been a fan of James Harden's game, especially because he plays no defense. He makes a lot of crucial mistakes, and he certainly has lost a step or two since, being in Houston. So I'm not a big fan of that move. I hope the Clippers get to James Harden, because now they can pair him up with Russell Westbrook again, and then they have a broken down PG and broken down Kawhi Leonard, which who knows what that's going to be all about. But, I think we should start a celebration here in Los Angeles. We should start a celebration. It's like, we're finally going to get your stepbrother out of the arena, out of your home. It's like you finally want to get him out of your home arena. It's like, get out of here, get out of town. This is the last year that the Clippers will be at Crypto.com arena. So should we start a countdown? Should we start a celebration in getting them out of crypto? Maybe we should start, evicting them now. It's that we know they're on their way out. Why not evict them? Why not have hundreds of fans outside Crypto.com arena on opening night for the Clippers and put eviction notices throughout the arena? Why not? Why not? But Draymond Green also signed a huge deal worth $100 million, $25 a year over 4 years to stay with the Golden State Warriors. Kyle Kuzma also signed a 4-year deal worth $102 million to stay in Washington. And Anthony Edwards also signed the same deal as LaMelo Ball signed, 5 years worth over $260 million extension. It's just ridiculous how much money is being spent around the league. But now it's time to spend some money and some attention around the WNBA league. Because when we look at why the WNBA should plan in expanding the teams and giving other players opportunities, because there are a lot of WNBA players and great players that don't have a job right now. Why? Because there's no room for players right now. There's no room. I mean, right now it seems like the LA Sparks have all the room in the world, because they started last night's game with only 8 active players. 8 active players. And, they went into Atlanta. They fought in the first half. They fought, but they let the game get away from them late in the fourth quarter. And it seemed like this is a trend that is going on right now. The Sparks have now lost 3 games in a row after winning last Sunday at Crypto.com arena when we were there, and they were able to pick up that win against the Dallas Wings, but they have now lost 2 in Chicago, 1 in Atlanta, and the LA Sparks are currently, maybe they just arrived right now in Los Angeles probably, and they are getting set to take on the Atlanta Dream all over again on Wednesday evening at Crypto.com arena. And of course, you can follow us there at LA Sparks Weekly here on Instagram. Follow us on Infinity Television as well, because we are bringing you all of the latest content and analysis from the LA Sparks and what's happening inside the locker room and outside the locker room. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this last thought. And, for the people that watch the LA Sparks Weekly postgame show, which you guys should have watched the postgame show, because we always have a lot of great things to say there. I was talking last night on the postgame show and looking about the possibility that we have in acquiring maybe some sort of other talent, because the Sparks are, the trade deadline's not there yet, but now it seems like the GM of the Sparks, Karen Bryant, and assistant GM and Eli Horowitz should start looking around and seeing what they can do to save Nneka Ogwumike. Because Nneka Ogwumike is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. She's on a 1-year contract, which a lot of people expected Nneka not to return to the Sparks this past season. But Nneka was like, you know what? I'm going to stay here. I'm going to give them another shot. I feel like this team is changing and heading towards the right direction, especially with the new GM, the new PR people. They got a new front office as well. You got a new coach. You got new everything around that team. So what can they do? What type of player do they need? They need a player that can really come out here and play the 5 spot. I feel like the 5 spot, the guards, is not a problem. Even though the coach last night said, Coach Kurt Miller is like, hey, these young guards, they're not doing it for us right now. And we clearly see that. But those are not the guards that you're going to be heading into the late in the season with. No, you have Jordan Canada that's expected to possibly be back on Wednesday. You have Lexi Brown, who is still a no-show for the past 7 games, and we know I did get a chance to ask Coach last night about when we should expect Lexi Brown or what is the update on her, and he did mention that she is progressing. She is progressing, and that's all he can really say at the moment, which is still kind of like, it's a weird situation. It's a very, very weird situation. It's not, I think that's the perfect thing I can say. It's weird because once the news come out and we know what the reason was, maybe we all might understand and might feel better about it. But at the current moment, we just don't know what's going to happen with her. But I do want to finish off this with my last thought on Zia Cook. Zia, I've seen you since day one, since you got drafted to the league. I saw you at training camp. I saw you at practice, saw you at shooting around, seen you at every game, seen you getting out on the court every single day. You're out on the court practicing. You're breaking the sweat. I see it. I see the effort. I see your teammates even talk about it as well. They see that you're the first one in the gym, working hard, giving it your all, and you're diving on the floor for balls at times. And we see the effort out there. But I think it's just about your confidence being built a little higher and getting the repetitions of the shot selections, because shot selections are very crucial in the league. When you have the ball in your hand, sometimes it feels like you grab the ball and you right away or you're going to shoot. You don't even want to look at what the defense is giving you. Sometimes you got to look at the defense, what they're giving you and what you can get and what you cannot get. Zia, you got so many tricks in your bag. You know what you do. This is what you were built for all your life. You talked about this. I just want you, Zia, to really take this team, and because you have the ability to take this team to another level, especially not just this year, but moving forward. You have that ability. So, Zia, just really lock in, man. That's all I gotta say. Lock in mentally, physically. Get out there and just get the ball, rebound the ball, chase the rebounds, get the loose balls. Those little things matter in the league. That's what I'm going to say. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July, because I certainly will try so. It's going to be hot outside. Make sure everyone keep your fingers away from the fire, but don't keep your eyes away from Infinity TV, because we're bringing you a lot of the greatest content here. I'll see you guys. Hey, catch me tomorrow on the breaks. Why not? Hey, it's the 4th of July special. See you then.